It's the holiday season, so we had to have two of our favorite cooking instructors come in to share one of their favorite recipes.
Yes, Betty Ann Donegan and Stephanie Dietz are back with us today, and you're going to show us a holiday goodie here. A nice appetizer?
A nice appetizer. We're going to make some phyllo dough, and we're going to put some brie into it with some pears and some cherries. Now, phyllo dough is, some people are very intimidated by phyllo dough. There's a couple of things I'd like to mention. You should work quick, and don't put anything hot into it. Now, you see I have an extra box here because sometimes when you open the box, there's not one piece that you can use.
Really? That's happened before?
Oh, yeah, it's happened before.
It's so thin.
It's so thin. All it really is flour and water and a little bit of cornstarch, and there's a little salt in here, too. Now, we're going to brush this just like we're painting.
What are you brushing that with?
This is butter. Now, this butter is clarified. You don't have to use clarified butter, but this is clarified. Clarified means the water and the protein is gone so that it's clear and it won't burn as easily. And if you don't use clarified butter, you have to make sure you mix up the butter because the water is going to sink to the bottom. And if you only grab water and you put it on this dough, it turns to glue. So you have to make sure that when you do this, you mix up the butter if you're using regular butter.
You're putting a lot of butter in there.
Well, it looks like a lot, but it really isn't.
And that's a pretty unique brush you're using, too.
Yes, this is a boar bristle brush. And it's perfect because it's very soft because you don't want to tear this dough. I'm going to use 4 sheets of this to make this filling. You need usually around 4 or 5 sheets to make it thick enough. Because if you don't make it thick enough, it just tears.
I was going to say, you have to be careful because you could easily tear this.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's why this brush is very, very, very soft.
And you're just layering it right on top of each other?
I'm going to do one on top of the other, and I'm doing, again.
This is your third layer now.
This is my third. And Steph is stirring the nuts. We're making some sugared nuts over there, and Steph is stirring them.
Right, so what I have in here are 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of butter and a cup of pecans. And I'm just going to keep cooking this until it gets nice and golden and caramelized. And then everything gets poured onto this piece of foil.
Okay.
And then you let it sit until it's cool. And then you chop it, and when you chop it, that's what you have there. That's a little bowl of the nuts all done.
Oh, okay. It smells delightful already.
Yeah,
Can you use different kind of nuts?
Absolutely.
Yeah, these are actually walnuts, and those are pecans. So either you could use hazelnuts, whatever you like.
And you can put spices in, too, if you wanted.
And you could use almonds, whatever you like.
Okay.
This is my 4th sheet of phyllo now. Yep. And you can see that I've buttered it all. See, if you don't butter it, it dries up and it crumbles up just like dust. Now I'm going to. This is a pear mixture with pears and cherries and a little bit of thyme sautéed in butter, just till the pears are soft. I'm going to spread it on here, just the same size as the brie. We're using a 1-pound piece of brie, which is a wheel. And then I'm going to put some nuts.
Those are the nuts that
These
we
are the sugared nuts.
We just toasted, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And now I have a piece of brie here, and we split this brie in half. I'm going to put a cut side up. I'm going to put some more filling.
It smells good.
And another thing, when you're making pears, if the pears aren't ripe, cooking them isn't going to make them any better. So the pears have to be ripe and they have to be flavorful. The best way to tell if a pear is flavorful and it's ripe if you smell it.
So you can't cheat.
I mean, you
Can't
don't
cheat,
want
no.
it mushy either. Can you tell by feeling it, or?
Yeah, well, mushy is better than green.
Okay.
So
look at
see
this.
how I made a little sandwich?
Yes.
Now I'm going to fold this dough up, but first I'm going to trim off the edges a little bit because it's a little bit too big.
And when would you serve this?
Well, this is an appetizer. You really should serve this on a dish.
Okay.
And you could also put this on a bed of greens. Now I'm going to fold this up, and as I go, I'm going to pleat it.
See, some people serve this with crackers, but you
yes,
say
you can do that too.
You can.
You can.
But
I have to butter this as I go.
You really don't need to.
Well, the crackers sort of take away from the flavor of the phyllo. Now, you see how I'm pleating this? Because obviously, if I don't pleat it, there's nothing I can do with the extra dough. The brush is the most important tool here.
Yeah, I'm going to need one of these, Teresa. I don't have one of these brushes.
Boar bristle brush. You better get on that, Josh.
I know. That's got to be on my list. Okay.
Now, I'm going to flip this over because I want the pears to be on the top.
Oh.
Now, see, now the pears are on the top. And now
gotta add some more.
And you have to brush the whole thing. Now, what I've used here on this whole entire thing is maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter. It looks like a lot.
Yeah, but that's not crazy.
But it's not a lot. And then this goes into the oven.
What do you have the oven on?
400.
400.
For about 15 minutes. 15.
And that's it?
That's it. And
Okay.
this you can cut in wedges, and you can put it on a bed of greens if you want. Or you can just load.
And voila, look what we have.
Ooh, look at that. It's
That
oozing
looks
out.
delightful.
It oozed a little bit. Sometimes that happens, but we can clean it up a little bit.
You expect that with brie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, less than a minute.
we're all set. We got our pears are ready on our dishes that we're going to serve it with.
Is that the garnish, the pear?
Yep.
Very nice.
Yum.
Fork.
Thank you. I'll take one.
There you go. Oh, thank you.
I'm betting you guys do quite a big Christmas,
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine eating with them on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Well, I'm digging
That's
right in
perfect.
here because Brie's
Yep,
one of
dig
my
right in.
Of
favorites.
course, the recipe, all you have to do is go to WTNH.com and click on Connecticut Style. Okay, what do you think?
I'm doing it right now.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Delightful. The little piece of heaven on my plate.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Anyway, delicious. Happy holidays to the both of
Thank you.
Thanks for
too.
coming
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you.